12 weeks program to a wrap. We thank God for the success. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen quickly. Give me a moment. Okay, so I will be taking the announcement right away. Thank you everyone for your time from week 1, and to everyone who joined us later on. You would agree with me that it's been insightful, informative, and educative, and an all round of positivity. Okay, thank you for everything. All right. So we want to appreciate everyone who joined our Facebook live session. That was last Sunday, 18th of August. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in our next live session. Thank you very much. Okay, so talking about the video challenge, the video challenge has been ongoing, and we have received a couple of your videos and your testimonials. Okay, so we have extended it up till Monday. So if you are yet to send your videos and your written testimonial, please do so between today and Monday. So I'll quickly briefly tell us how to qualify. Make a 1-minute video or write a testimonial about studying at Transformation College, how it has changed or improved your life or career. Post that said video or written testimonial on your Facebook handle, tag Transformation College of Business and Technology, and invite friends to like our page. Get at least 5 of your friends to follow our page. The video should be posted on Facebook on the 26th of August. We had to extend it till Monday. That's 26th of August to accommodate more videos and testimonials. All right. This challenge ends on the 26th of August, and winners will be announced on the 31st of August, 2024. Winners will be selected based on the highest number of likes. Also note, the college will be awarding 20 likes to the video that speaks the most to us. All right, so please do well to send in your videos. Thank you so much. Next on the announcement is about our admission for the 2025-2026 academic session. Admission is currently ongoing. Please tell your friends it's a free tuition school, 100% tuition free. Tell those who are unable to afford education. Transformation College is offering you a tuition free, 100% tuition free education to come study with us. The courses that we offer are business informatics, computer software engineering, networking and system security. All right, so admission is currently ongoing. So please tell your friends, your loved ones, and whoever would need this information, okay, can feel free to send these flyers to them. You can give them our numbers to contact us, and they can also apply with the link that is displayed on the screen. Thank you so much for that. So without further ado, I'll be welcoming our first trainer for today. All right. Okay, before then, our graduation ceremony. Please, if you are happy that we are graduating, please, I want to see your reactions on the chat box. Okay, it's our graduation. Start congratulating those who will be graduating in advance. All right, get ready with your best clothes, makeup, wigs for the D-Day. Invite your friends and well-wishers to join the call. It is open to everybody, okay? Just invite them. It is going to be very, very exciting. All right. And you will not forget about this in a hurry. It's a promise. Okay, so that is going to be happening next week, Saturday, on this same space, Zoom. Time is 10 a.m. So just get prepared, all right? Thank you so much, everybody. So I'll be introducing our trainer, our face trainer on the call today. Okay, so the person that will be taking us today is on the face session is none other than Dare Daramola. She'll be taking us on leadership. Dare Daramola, by God's grace, is a highly dynamic individual, goal-oriented with a keen analytical mind who is committed to continuous improvement through learning. He has over the years been able to bridge the gap between resources and resourcefulness. With his experience over the years, by God's grace, he has helped and is still helping organizations to bridge the gaps between production and productivity through training and human capacity development. He is on the board of a good number of organizations that are thriving in their businesses. He is a leader and a leadership enthusiast, both spiritual and secular. Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a clap of hands in the chat box, let's welcome our face trainer who will be taking us on leadership. You're welcome, sir. Please, you can take it up from here.
Thank you so much. Let's give all glory to God and welcome you all for this special occasion. It's a privilege to be here again this year. I want to appreciate the organizer. This is touching the heart of God, giving to humanity. I pray that God will continually expand the post. Okay, to everyone here, welcome. Let's focus on this. We have we're on a board of a plane that is taking us somewhere, and this is the main focus of everyone. In creation, God made everyone a leader, so it will be a disservice to the essence of God if you don't know that you are called to be a leader, and you're a leader in whatever area you find yourself. And that is why we're going through this today. I'll I will use a lecture teaching method, and we can follow the slide. Once again, you are welcome on board. Now, the other time I did something, I think I should do that again. Can we all put on our video? Yeah, can you see me? Can you all see me?
Yes, we can.
All right. I want everyone to put on their video for just a minute or two. Okay. So if you can see me, I want you to touch your chin. I want you to touch your chin. Can you? Can you see me? Are you touching your chin?
I think you can give everybody access to activate their videos. Please permit them to activate their videos.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's go, please. Dari, let's go, please.
Yeah. Please touch your chin, please. Yeah, I want to see everyone. Not everyone's video is there. Not everyone's video is there. Can you please touch your
Uma,
chin?
have you given them permission to activate their videos?
Okay, so all right. I can see some. Okay, sorry. Are you? Please touch your chin. Please touch your chin. Please touch your chin. Yeah. I can see. I can see. I can see. Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Anthony, you are not doing that. Oh, great. Timothy, can you touch your chin? Yeah, great, 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 wonderful. Thank you, everyone. I can see you all doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great, great, great. All right. I want to ask, just put down your hands. You can put up the video. Okay. So the question is, what did you touch? Yeah, I can't get a response. What did
People are
what did
dropping
you touch?
their messages in the chat room. They're dropping their responses in the
Okay.
chat room.
Chin, I touch my cheek. Chin, we touch our cheek. My chin right below my lip. My chin, the edge of my face. We thought you just made a mistake. Great. Even with the understanding that your cheek is different from your chin, many of us were still touching our cheek. Even, and why are we doing this? Because you all are looking up to me, and in a way, I've influenced what you do. You are not listening. I mean, even though you had me, you were doing exactly what I was doing. That is leadership. That is leadership. You know the difference between the cheek and the chin, yet you were touching the cheek because I was touching it. So leadership is all about influencing. Leadership is all about making people do something, follow you in a particular way, a particular pattern. So who is a leader? A leader is a person who influences a group of people towards achieving a goal. That's who a leader is. Influence cannot be taken away from leadership. So the level of influence you have will determine to a good degree your leadership ability. Your leadership ability. We have 3 P's of leadership. We call it the mnemonic for leadership. There are 3 P's. Number 1, you must understand is there must be a purpose. There must be a purpose. That's the first P. Without a purpose, there is nothing to pursue. Number 2 is a person. That person that is a leader. Then the people who are following. So understand that we have 3 P's of leadership: purpose, person, and people. The person have a purpose and he influences people to achieve this purpose. Please note. The person is a leader, is someone who has an office, an authority, is in leadership position, or He has the leadership ability to lead people. He leads people because he has the leadership ability to lead them. A leader by its meaning is simply someone who goes first and lead by example. It's not someone who is saying, do what I say, not what I do. He leads by example. Every leader, every good leader leads by example. So to be a leader, a person must have a deep-rooted commitment to the goal, the purpose, and strive to achieve it, even if nobody follows him. Even if nobody is there to encourage, that person is self-motivated. Let's look at purpose. The leader has to be practical and realistic, yet must talk the language of a visionary and be idealistic. You cannot lead people if you don't know where you are going. All road will lead you there. I mean, I say that again. If you don't know where you are going, all road will lead you there. In football, for many of us that are active football players, then there are people we call anywhere belle fits. Can you relate with that? It means that they just get the ball and shoot. They aim at nothing, just get the ball and shoot. Anywhere belle fits. So a leader must have what we call a goal. Something is pursuing. Purpose must be a visionary, must have vision. Then people, if you are a leader, it has a lot to do with the people you are leading. Leadership without followers, it's a one-man show, one-man battalion. So the people are the ones that leaders influence. To be a leader, you must have followers. And before you can have followers, there must be trust. You must be trusted by those who are following you or who are to follow you. You must be trusted by them. It is very essential that the issue of trust is vital. I mean, we take it as important as anything. As a leader, you must empathize with your follower. And please note, empathy is being present, actively listening to them, knowing what, feeling their pulse, holding space for emotional expression, but it is not the same as putting others above yourself. It's not the same as perpetuating victim mentality. No, it's not the same as showing pity. Because as a leader, if you continue to show pity on the people, they will end up in the pit. If you continue to show people, pity on the people, you will discover that they end up in the pit. How do you win their trust? Why will others trust you? Are you worthy of their trust? So let's look at what is leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is ability to develop a vision that motivates others to move with a passion towards a common goal. Leadership simply means ability to influence others to achieve a goal. If you have a very wonderful goal, purpose, and you cannot carry people along to achieve this goal, then the goal is no goal. You are not a leader. Because eventually, why the goal is no goal is because it may not be achieved eventually. it may not be eventually achieved. Let's look at the characteristics of a leader. Sorry, like I said, it's going to be a lecture teaching method. So you can just follow. I know you will get the slide later. Let's look at 10 characteristics of a leader. A leader is someone with high level of personal integrity, highly disciplined, not doing what, you said people should not do something and you are found there. Sometimes ago, somebody was giving me, I was trying to encourage someone and said, I cannot trust spiritual leaders. And I said, why? He said, because one day as a teenager, he visited a friend's house. The friend happened to be the daughter to the pastor of their church, who declared fasting. And without notice, he opened the door and discovered the pastor eating a bar and good. And immediately she closed the door, ran home, and she was like, how could you declare this and you are the one found eating? He went to the church the evening because it's an everyday prayer meeting and fasting. And she discovered the pastor jumping here and there, asking people who have fasted in the morning to pray. Yeah, no, I am not being judgmental. I have to call and said, sit down. There are times people declare some things, but they don't have the capacity, but they will not deny the followers of enjoying the benefits. And I have to just convince her so that she doesn't see all leaders that way, and to actually give an excuse. Leadership, even though you have some health challenge or whatever, you need to do some few things discreetly so that people don't call you other names and don't mistaking your good intention for bad. All right, 4 factors of leadership. Number 1, leader-follower communication and situation. Leader-follower communication and situation. Factors of leadership. 4 of them. A leader, as a leader, you must have an honest understanding of who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you will not. To be successful, you have to convince your followers, not your superiors. You have to convince them to follow you. They have to trust you enough to follow you. Then follower, you must know your people. As a leader, you must know your people. If you don't know them, there is no way you'll be able to lead them right. You must know what motivates them. You must know the incentive to give to motivate them to do some things, to achieve. You must know when to use the carrot. You must know when to use the stick. Communication is another point here. Communication has of 2 different types, verbal and non-verbal. The non-verbal communication is leading. You don't say it, but they can see it. They follow you. They follow what you do. At times you want to get something done, you go first and do it yourself. You set examples. You are communicating to the people, to your followers, doing this. Situation. We must use our judgment to decide the best course of action and the leadership style needed for each situation. There are different things you have to face, but how do you manage the situation? Your skill, Your leadership skill will determine how the situation is managed. If it is badly managed, you may lose your followers, you may lose their trust. So there are different leadership styles that you can use to manage situations. One may not fit all, and that is why you need to be dynamic as a leader. You need to be dynamic as a leader. Let's look at management. What is management? I'll tell you this. In the book, management means the process of planning, organizing, controlling, directing all activity of an organization to achieve a certain goal. But in my own definition, management is simply getting things done through and with people. Getting things done through and with people. We want to look at leadership versus management. Leadership versus management. They are interrelated, but not all managers are leaders. Not all managers are leaders. A manager may not be a leader, but a good manager must at least have some quality, good attributes of an effective leader. To get this done, to ensure that the goal is achieved, there are good quality of leaders that a good manager must have. A manager that wants to be successful must possess good leadership quality. In management, you need to be disciplined. You need that skill. You need project management skill. You need negotiation skill. Among other skills, you need supervisory skill. You need attention to detail skill. And as a leader, you must be an active listener. Coaching skill. You must empathize. Empathy is one of the things you need. Motivation is a skill needed by a leader. It's communication, delegation, deeper understanding, ability to innovate, forward thinking, critical thinking, willingness to stand up to supervisors, ability to explore goals, reflect, and be able to control situations. These are skills that it's needed. These are leadership skills, and the first dimension were management skills. Now, they both intertwine, like I said. We have interpersonal skill, supervisory skill, technical skill, decision-making skill. These are unique skills that brings them together. Attribute of a leader. Like I said earlier, vision is very key. Vision, a leader must be one with a vision, someone with vision, a guiding vision. A vision must be guiding a leader. Must have something you are pursuing, must have something you want to achieve. The effective leader establishes achievable goals. That goal must be smart. That goal must be smart. Passion as a leader, if an effective leader, passion is one of the attributes that an effective leader must have. You have a positive outlook on who they are. They are not one who, when you see, you are not even motivated by their personality. They carry themselves with integrity. Because they know who they are, they don't just go for anything. They don't settle for less. They only make promises they can follow. They don't give empty promises. We know leaders around who will just say, but they will not be able to achieve whatever it is that they are saying. They don't deliver their promises. No, leaders have integrity. They go all out, able and establishing the fact that they have given a promise and doing everything to ensure that the promises are achieved, are delivered. Honesty is another attribute of a leader. Aura of honesty is conveyed by a leader. professionally and personally. Trust, like I said, effective leaders and trust of their followers. Without that, your follower trusting you, you don't have followers. Another attribute is curiosity. Leaders they don't just stop because I'm a leader. No, they are a step ahead of those they are following because they keep learning. They keep learning. They are curious to know what's next. Risk. As an effective leader, calculated risk is taken. Effective leader takes calculated risk. Dedication. Dedication. The leader gives himself or herself entirely to the task when it is necessary. Is dedicated. It's not one who will ask you to do something and you'll be doing something else. It's dedicated to whatever he has given himself to achieve the task. Charisma, this is very, very important. It's an important attribute of a leader. It is difficult for many leaders, but it is an important attribute. It conveys maturity, respect for your followers, compassion, a good sense of humor, love for humanity. You carry yourself, your comportment is seen, and people are able to love to follow you. Listening, that's another attribute. A leader is a listener. You can hear, but you may not listen. But a good leader not only will hear, but listen. Let's look at some leadership styles. Some leadership styles. We have the autocratic, we have transactional, we have democratic, we have laissez-faire, we have transformational. These are basic 5 leadership styles. Autocratic, authoritarian leadership style is speaking to a leader that takes all the decisions by himself. Everything revolves around him. It's all about him taking all the decisions. He doesn't consult his subordinate. He demands unquestioned obedience. Just do what I say. Are you questioning my leadership ability? You know, they say something like that. They are strict autocrats, benevolent autocrats, incompetent autocrats. These are the types of autocratic leadership. Number 2 is paternalistic leadership. Paternalistic leadership, they are authoritarian by nature, but a little consideration for their subordinates. So they are heavily work-centered, but they take care of subordinates. Instead of putting pressure, they encourage their subordinates. They treat the followers as members of their family. So when you see them, they run things like a family. We are in a family. They promise to fulfill names. They work hard to achieve a common goal. They are more superior than the autocratic leader. And you can find this in Japan because of their culture. You can find this in Japan. Their culture encourages this type of leadership. Because of the time, I will not be able to speak more on that. But let's go to the next one. There's a sphere of free reign leadership. This leader is just, he allowed the subordinate to do whatever. I mean, decision making is basically on the subordinate, encouraging risk taking and creativity, creating employee buy-in, successful when subordinates are highly competent, because majority of, decision making revolves around the subordinate. Yeah, it's a permissive style of leadership. So you allow people to do their thing, come up with ideas, carry it out. Is always just there to control. and see how it goes. The next style is participative or democratic leadership. We all know what democratic is: getting permit subordinate to participate in decision making. The final decision is combined effort of all, not one-man decision, not just decision of the subordinate. Everybody comes together, and here they can vote to say, okay, this is what we agreed to, this is what we are working on. The decentralization of authority is here, the group decision making and two-way communication from top to bottom, bottom to top. Allow sufficient freedom to talk to him. He allow people free access to himself. We consider this is more an effective, more effective style of leadership, because you can get information from top to bottom and bottom to top. Transformational leadership. Transformational leadership. Transformational leadership speaks to intellectual stimulation. Just give me 1 minute. All right, sorry about that. Transformational leadership, intellectual stimulation, individual consideration. Intellectual stimulation, they are innovative and creative. Transformational leadership, they have goals, they challenge themselves. Individualized consideration, number one, mentorship, empathy, purpose, strength and skills. Idealized influence, they influence. Transformation leaders influence. They are role model, they walk the walk, they walk the walk. They don't just say it, they lead by example. They are enthusiastic, embody value. They are inspirational motivation. They have a clear vision, optimism, inclusion, productivity. Then we have ethical leadership. Ethical leadership. Ethical leadership have 8 traits. Number one trait of ethical leaders is integrity, safety. They lead by example. They are trustworthy. They are transparent. They are empathetic. They are socially responsible. And they are also EDI. EDI is equality, diversity, and inclusion. These are ethical leadership. Now let's look at the qualities of a great leader. Qualities of a great leader. I'm coasting in and rounding up, like I said. It's going to be a lecture teaching method. The qualities of a great leader. Number one, honesty. A leader must be honest. A leader doesn't just do it. It's not all about it. He delegates. A leader delegates. Communication. Communication is one of the qualities of a leader. Leader gets information, communicates effectively to those, to followers. Confidence. A leader is good, confident. A leader is committed. Commitment is one is committed to the goal set. A leader is positive. A leader is positive. is not looking at the negative side that things will not work. No. For a leader, it has to work. Positive. A leader is creative, always thinking about the way to do it better, innovative, intuition. A leader is curious, always looking for a new idea. A leader inspires, to inspire others, influence them positively. Approach is the last quality. A leader approaches everything in a way that brings positive vibes. Let's look at these 7 secrets of inspiring leaders. What are the 7 secrets of inspiring leaders? Number 1, ignite your enthusiasm. You cannot inspire unless you are inspired yourself. As a leader, you can't give what you don't have. Please note. You cannot give what you don't have. You must have it to give it. So if you don't have it, you cannot give it. Number 2, navigate a course of action. You must have a vision, a purpose. You can't do anything without having a vision, something you are pursuing, a course of action. So as a leader, you must navigate a course of action. You must navigate a course of action. As a leader, you must sell the benefit. You must paint the picture that the followers will be able to buy into what the vision is. Our brains are programmed more for stories than for abstract ideas. So create the picture. Let them see where you are going. Tell story of what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it. Write it down. Let them read it. Let them run with it. Invite participation. Get the opinion. Pitch new idea. Invite them for their opinions. And you need to reinforce optimism. Reinforce optimism. Be optimistic. Always be positive about. Don't be the one pulling down what you are building. Don't be the one discouraging them. Let them look at you and see, even though there is discouragement, let them, even though the situation, even though everything around is discouraging, let them see you, look at you, and be encouraged. Be positive. Reinforce optimism. Encourage potential. I mean, when you see potential in the leader, in your followers, encourage them to develop it. Encourage them to be what they don't even know they can be. Encourage them. Question here is, as a leader, which will you prefer? Traditional leader to employee or supportive leader to employee? Which will you prefer as a subordinate? As a follower, which will you prefer? Traditional leader, they assign tasks to the employee and receive results from the employee. Supportive leader assign tasks and they continuously mentor their employee or followers and they achieve results. Which one will you prefer? You can put put your response on the chat box. Let's hear you. Which one will you prefer? Yeah, thank you, Richard. Says supportive leader. That's great. That's great. Supportive leader. That's from Faith. That's great. Adewale, supportive leader. That's great. All right. The secret of leadership is simple. Do what you believe in. Paint a picture of the future. Go there. People will follow. That's it. Gordon. Thank you, everyone. This is Akim saying supportive. This is Augustine saying supportive. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right, that's lovely. Thank you for all the responses there. That's great. So to be a leader, you must support your followers to achieve goals. All right. Thank you, everyone. This is where I draw the curtain for this lecture. Thank you. Any question?
Mr. Daramola, yes, there is a question in the chat room by Adewale.
Okay, Adewale says, what's the difference between...
It says, what is the difference between... exactly.
Okay, so...
Please go ahead.
Okay, let me say this. One minister, you know him, Babatunde Raji Fashola, was talking about Buhari leadership style and that of Tinubu presently. And I want to ask, between the two of them, which style is less fair and which one is democratic? Now, what he said about Buhari is that Buhari will leave, we ask you to do something, leave you to do that thing, and will not check. He said that Tinubu will ask you to do something, monitor, and control what you are doing. Okay, so that's by the way. Yeah. Laissez-faire, we are allowed subordinate to take all decisions, whatever they want to do. Everything lies on the subordinate. Democratic is, it gets feedback. He allowed them to vote. It's not leaving them to do everything. He set the goal, but he allowed them to participate. So allowing you to participate in decision making and all of that is different from just leaving you to do everything. And that's the difference. I hope that answers the question. Any other question, please? Thank you. Already, Lawal had said PNB is clear. Thank you. All right. Any other question, please? We can drop your question here. All right.
Please, if you would like to speak, rather, put up your hand and we will unmute you to ask your questions. Or if you would love to type it in the chat room, please do so.
Any question, please? You can just unmute or raise your hand so that you can be allowed to speak your question.
Richard, please clarify what your question is. I see you're trying to ask a question. You mentioned something about confrontation. Please specify. Okay. You have the question, Mr. Daramola.
Yeah, you mentioned something about confrontation, sir. As a leader, is it advisable to be confrontational? No, I didn't mention anything about confrontation. I didn't mention anything about confrontation. As a leader, yeah, you need to, yeah, it's not ideal to be confrontational because you may encourage rebellion. So, as a leader, you need to know how to address situation without necessarily being confrontational. All right. Yeah. As a leader, you must be able to drive home the truth, speak to the truth, speak the truth even when it's difficult, say it as it is. And if that is confronting the truth, I mean, if that's what you are referring to as being confrontational, yeah, say the truth even though it hurts. As a leader, you have to. Thank you for sure for that. Any other question? All right. Thank you, everyone. Um, I appreciate your responses, your questions, and your time. I wish you the best and the very best.
All right.
So over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Darmala. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Please give him a round of applause in the chat room, please. Everybody, please. Um, thank you very much for that, sir. All right. Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause for that. Okay. So it's good to be here, everyone. I'm always excited when I get the opportunity to be able to speak to everybody. All right. When I get the opportunity to be able to speak to all you great analysts and ISO masters, it's always brilliant to be able to to get the opportunity to talk to all of you. So I'm excited to be here once again today. Uh, we have a couple of things that we need to cover. So I'll allow everybody like a quick 10 minutes break or 15-minute break, stretch your legs, go and get some coffee, tea, water, whatever that thing is, and then just come back in 10 minutes. I'm also going to allow Edith and Boma. So please tell the people in the chat room they should please come in. These are the last set of sessions for this year, this beautiful year 2024. This is the last training session, and I begged um I begged the team to pretty much give me this opportunity. I was the one who started this whole session some weeks ago. How time flies. I remember the day we started, there were more than 100 people here. I'm not sure of how many of those people have actually gotten to this junction where they're able to complete all their assignments and they're able to graduate next week. Next week is our graduation day. I'm so excited. I'm happy. I hope most people will graduate. I really do hope most people will graduate from this year's summer program. It will do you a lot of good. It will do your career a lot of good if you're able to graduate. So that would be good. So if you think you're going to be graduating, everybody go to the chat room. Let me hear from you. If you've completed all your assignments, because if you don't complete it, there's no way you're going to graduate. So if you've completed all your assignments and everything, please, I want to see your response in the chat room. If you completed your assignment, I want to see your response in the chat room. It's a big day next week, so please invite your friends, invite your cousins, invite even your enemies, right? If you do have any, invite them and ensure that they come for that graduation. That graduation will probably do more your career, more this course will probably do your career more good than what it is that you actually studied in the university. I can promise you that if you've been an attentive student in this whole the training that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, this will probably do your entire career more good than you can imagine. So I'm going to beg of you once again that you take it forward from here. It's important, and I'm glad that a lot of people have been able to get to this particular junction as it is. As I said, I started this training class um, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm extremely happy and I'm excited that we've gotten here. So please, once again, everybody, a huge round of applause to the organizers. Please go into the chat room, everyone, and help me say, yes, yes. I want to see first. I want to see the people who are graduating. Who are those that are graduating? So, uh, Elizabeth says, I'm graduating. Thank you very much. Victor is graduating. Toluasha is graduating. Jonathan, this is your look. Does that mean you're graduating, right? Rick Edward, yes. Messi said, I will graduate next week. Absolutely. Yeah. Jadisola says, I like that. Jadisola, Jakai says, the graduate already. This one don't be say you're about to graduate. Emmanuel, yes, Rashid, Faith, yes, no, no. If you've completed it, wait, then you don't need hopefully any longer. You will graduate. Of whatever you should know. You're saying you believe so, right? So, Adenike Onofeko, this you're crying. What does this mean? Does this mean you have not had the opportunity to complete? I don't even know. I don't even know how to interpret this. Fuchsia says completed, so that means you're graduating. Richard. Oh, absolutely. I can tell you that. I mean, this will help your career if you focused on it in the last couple of months as it is. So once again, let me say a big thank you to the team. I mean, they've done an amazing job. Please give them a huge, huge round of applause. Please. Oh, no, you have to complete all your assignments this week. Please help me thank the team. They've done an excellent job. They've done an amazing job. They've dedicated the entire Saturday, the three of them. They spent their whole Saturday just, the organizing this. I can't even reward them. The only thing I can do is just pray for them that God will reward them for their labor of love. They've done quite a bit to be able to get us to this particular juncture. So once again, we thank you guys. We thank all of you, the three. We thank you, Mercy, Boma, and Edith, and the new member James. I hope he's on the call. Yeah. So we thank all of them, and we're also getting ready. All right, we're also getting ready for we're getting ready for the new semester. We're getting ready for the new semester. So, and once again, the school is free. So I was telling somebody, I said, do yourself a favor, not just yourself, do your friends, do your family, tell them to come. We have 3 courses. Can you put up the flyer? We're starting school in another 2 weeks. And we're already, I mean, we're working very hard to ensure that school is up and running. So we're starting school in another couple of weeks. So please put up the flyer. Do your friends, do your neighbors, do everybody around you some good. Get them to attend. Get them to attend. Um, as it is, please get them to attend. We're going to be teaching software engineering. We're going to be teaching application development and software engineering. So we're gearing up. We're gearing up. We're also going to be teaching. There's a course called networking and which is literally, I mean, it is actually networking and cybersecurity. That's what that course is about. Networking and cybersecurity. And the National Innovation Diploma, networking and cyber security. And of course, we're also going to be teaching business informatics. So we're running those three courses, right? We're running those three courses, business informatics, networking. Yeah, so we're running all that. So please join us. Join us. Get your friends, get your family. Yes, so now I want the one that shows me the courses that we're offering. I want the ones that show me the three. Okay, I thought we had one that had the breakdown of what is under business informatics, what is under software engineering,
Okay, hold
and what
on.
is under networking and cybersecurity. So, and it's, I mean, so please, and the requirement is SSCE. The requirement is the 5 credits or something that you need from SSC. That's all. That is all. And then you pass the admission test. School is free. So please get your cousins, get your friends, get people involved. Jonathan, you need to talk to me. Jonathan Edopa, you need to chat with me on WhatsApp later. We also put out an advert. We've got a couple of people that are looking to hire interns. Two categories of interns, junior interns, and then what we can call graduate trainees. So we're going to put out an ad as it sees. So yeah, so please tell your cousins. I mean, what else do you want? Tell your cousins, tell your friends, tell people everywhere. They get the opportunity to come for a free school being delivered by people who are in the industry. You know, everybody that's going to be teaching in there, we're all in the industry. We work. I mean, I was with a bank throughout this whole week from Monday to Friday. I was with a bank throughout the entire week, from Monday to Friday. And I'm going to be talking about one of the things I'm going to be teaching this morning is about what I was doing with the bank. I was doing something on privacy and privacy and data protection. That's what I was doing with the bank throughout the entire week. I was doing something on privacy and data protection. That's what I did throughout the whole week. So I was in the bank's building the entire week, the whole week, privacy and data protection. So that's what I'm going to start with as it is. So it's important that we all we're on top of this. So please get people to come in. I'm going to be talking about privacy and data protection. And I'll tell you the importance of this. I'll tell you why each of you needs to understand this in detail, right? So once again, this is essential. So please, I'll just give us a couple of minutes so that people can just stretch their legs, go to the restroom. But yes, please. I'm going to, so yes. I'm so excited. Uh, yeah, with regards to this whole program, I'm extremely excited to be here. Mhm. Okay. Righty. All right, everybody. So once again, I'm going to go through a couple of things. So number one, I mean, so that all of you will see that the things that you're doing here, they're of global relevance. Are we all together? Are we together? So that you will all see that the things that we're doing here, they are of global relevance. The things we're doing, they're not Nigerian relevant, they're globally relevant. If you look at my screen, for example, in the UK today, they posted some jobs. Look at, so when I put the word, when I put business analyst in the or business analysis, I put business analysis um in the search field. Can you see? Look at all the jobs for business analysis today. So look at this one. They're willing to pay a business analyst, everybody, 642 pounds per day. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, per day. They're willing to pay somebody who is a skilled business analyst 642 pounds per day. That's not the highest. Look at this one, everybody. Look at this one. An exciting opportunity. I hope you can see my screen, right? For business analysts to work here. Client is interested who have previously been a business analyst working in blah, blah, blah. Look at it. How much can you see here, everybody? Depending on the person's experience, they're willing to pay as much as 850 pounds per day if you are living in that country. If you are living in that country, you can earn this if you have the right experience, right? The right knowledge and the right skills. Look at it. A leading consumer data analytic, right? Looking for this, a business analyst. Can you see everything here? 500 pounds, 400 pounds. So the things that we're doing here, they actually have what we call global relevance. Can you see? Talk about UAT. So all of this, I mean, all of you that are here, this is one thing that is very important, right? I even had a session yesterday on this same business analysis. So, anyways, so this is not a joke. Let me do something else. And you can go to Indeed. Everybody can go to indeed.com or Indeed, INDEED.ca. You know, some of these companies actually hire people directly from Nigeria. The reason why a lot of people struggle is that because they're not very good. They have not taken the time. They have not drilled down into the things we have taught them in this session. If you go and drill down into everything that we have done over the last 11 or 12 weeks, you can get these jobs. You can. The reason why you will not be able to get it is because you're not drilling down. You don't know Figma yet. You don't know what are the other tools, Bizagi yet. We've gone through it in class, but you're not yet an expert in the use of that tool. That is what is going to stand against you and being able to get this kinds of jobs. This morning, I'm going to be talking about data privacy. And look at this job, looking for a data privacy expert. There are so many jobs out there that people are looking for somebody who's got, let me put data protection here. That's the reason. All right. Let me do this again. Let me do it as privacy. And okay, let me just put GDPR. Yes. Okay. All right. So you will see so many jobs that the people are just looking for somebody that knows anything about GDPR, which is the European privacy documentation. All right. People are just looking for anybody that understands anything at all about data privacy. So the things that we're teaching you here, let's not talk about cybersecurity or information security or any of those areas. The things that you've been taught here, they are of global relevance. All you need to do after this training is to go and start to drill down. Go and start to drill down. Drill down into business analysis, drill down into one or two of the ISOs. You don't have to drill down into all the ISOs. Just pick one or two of them, right? And drill down. I can tell you what, I can almost write something that I can call the formula for success, professional success. Let me be very clear about the line of success that I'm talking about, right? Let me check something there first, all right? Indeed.ca. A lot of people want to travel, they want to go away to another place, which is fine. I mean, you can go anywhere. Look at it, data protection officer, data protection system specialist, data retention and protection. Big deal, so to speak. What I'm going to teach you in the next 1 hour, I delivered to a bank this week. I paid us a lot of money to be able to do what it is. And because it took 5 days of my own time, so you can imagine, right? So the opportunity is there, brothers. The problem that most people have is we don't drill down. That's the biggest problem we have, all of us. We don't drill down. We like to do things at what I can call the surface level, like, superficial surface level, so to speak. Look at it. This is Indeed in Canada, business analyst, business analyst, business analyst, business analyst, everywhere. So I can almost give you the thing I can call the formula for success, for success, professional success. So I can say for professional success, right? This is what you need. Number one, you need to be an example, or maybe even the word I might prefer is an embodiment of the 12 of the 12 of the empowerment what we call the personal empowerment program series. Right? That's number one. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to be an example, you need to be an embodiment of the things that we've done under the personal empowerment program series. The last one we did today was about leadership. You need to be an embodiment of everything. I remember the day KG came to speak about personal grace and, was it etiquette and what else is it that she did? I remember the day Feisha came to speak about your pronunciation and speaking skills. I mean, different people have come to you as a person. You need to be an embodiment of those 12 topics within the all things, right? Within the, yes, professional empowerment program series. You need to do, that's number one. Number two is you need to go to drill down into business analysis, right? The concepts, the techniques, and the tools. Those tools included things like what? Bizagi, Trello. What else did you do? Xmind, Figma, right? You need to go drill down into, because you have done all those, it does not mean you've done the drill down. There's still a massive opportunity for you to drill down. There's still a massive opportunity for you to drill down. Okay. And then lastly, just pick a maximum of 3 ISO standards, and then go to drill down into them. All right. So you can either pick, some people like the environment, quality plus maybe health and safety plus maybe the environment. Some people like that. Some people like the 20,000 plus 27001 plus the 27032 cybersecurity plus the maybe 22301. Some people like the risk management ISO 31000. Just go and pick, about 3, or 4, maybe 3, maximum 4, and then focus. Drill down into them. Don't try to drill down into the entire 10. It's not necessary, right? So some people, so let me call it group A. Some people should go and focus on these ones. Let me call it group A. So everybody, all right, and then let me call this one group B. So everybody go and tell me in the chat room which group this one is. I think we did, yeah, let's see this, and then let me add what's that thing here, the one I'm doing today, 29,100. All right, so which group? These are the 3 things that you need for professional success, brothers and sisters. All right, great people, these are the 3 things that you need for professional success. Right, these are the things you need. If you can get these things right as a person professionally, you will succeed. This is not, I'm not motivating you, right? I'm telling you categorically with validated proof, right? That if you can focus on these things, you will succeed professionally, right? So let me do this, and then let me do this. Okay, this is a good representation of what I want. Let me see. Okay, so everybody in the chat room, once again, this is what you need for professional success. You will succeed, guaranteed. Even if there are demons that are after you, you will succeed. Right? Professionally. That I
Hello,
can't
doctor.
guarantee I can't guarantee other areas.
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
Are you sharing
Yes.
the groupings? Because I'm seeing the Indeed page.
No, I'd stop. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for bringing my attention to that. Thank you. So I was sharing, but let me reshare. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so everybody, this is your recipe for professional success. You will succeed if you can, if you can do number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 3, don't try to do the entire 10. Just pick from group A or group B. So everybody go to the chat room. Are you a group A person or a group B person? Where do you want to stay your career? From the ISO side of things. All right. Group A, they're like people who are interested in risk, quality, health and safety, environment, customer service, almost what I'll call business side of things. I'll call group A people who are interested in the business side of things. Then I'll call group B the people who are interested in the information technology side of things. Which group are you? Everybody go to the chat room quickly. Go to the chat room. Okay. Which group are you? Group A or group B? I can tell you, I can tell you, this is what I can call the guaranteed recipe for professional success. It has worked for me. It has worked for others. There is no demon that can stop you from professional success. Because that's why this number one is important. We've done a lot of things on the PEP side. A lot. Maybe you haven't realized it. We have done a lot of things on that side. You can drill down into business analysis and become an expert, and then you can pick 3 or 4 of the ISO standards and also become an expert there. You will succeed. If you can demonstrate these things to me, reach out to Mercy. We will give you a job. If you can beat your chest, all right, we'll give you a job with us. We'll give you a job with our friends, our colleagues. We'll refer you to organizations. If you can beat your chest around number one, that means when you sit in an interview, you can speak intelligently, you can articulate yourself appropriately, right? You are a demonstration and an embodiment of the 12. How many topics, Edith? Is it 12 or 10? I think it's 10, right? Edith, I think it's 10.
Yes,
Am I
it's
right?
10. Yes.
Good, it's 10. All right, thank you. I was going to say that, right? If you can be, you can demonstrate that you're an embodiment, like you have imbibed those 10 things, those 10 topics or themes into your personal life. You know business analysis and you know these tools. And then you will now pick one of these areas. As I said, I don't need you to do both. This is like what I can say, business ISO standards. And I can call this one IT ISO standards. So, right, at the foundational level, it's good that you're exposed to all of them. But in terms of what you want to focus on and specialize in, right, you go and pick your area of specialization. Don't try to specialize in everything. That won't make sense, right? Just focus on an area of specialization. Everybody, this is the recipe for the guaranteed recipe. And that's why we built this program that way. That's why our college is called Transformation College. Because the idea is for us to transform lives. And I can tell you guaranteed, if you know these things, professionally, your life will be transformed. It's a guarantee. I might not be able to promise you spiritual success. I might not be able to promise you emotional success. I might not be able to promise you physical success, but professional success? Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt, without an iota of doubt. That means if your attitude is a problem, you've addressed your attitude via the PEP series. That means if analysis is your problem, you've addressed your analysis portion of your life via the number 2. And if a particular specialization in terms of the adoption of an international standard within the context of a business is your problem, you've also addressed that. You cannot have all these and not get and tell me that you can't get a job or you can't successfully start a business. It's not possible. It is not possible. All right, so pretty much that is it that I wanted to say. I welcome you all to this. Let me quickly go, right? So let me go to the chat room. Let me see. Which is your group? Are you a group A is group A specialization or group B specialization? Everybody, tell me in the chat room. What are you? Group A? Okay, Jeff is group B, Moses is group A, Lawal is group A, Mercy is group B. Right. So which one do I have more? Do I have more A's or B's? Right. So who are those that are business ISO standard specialization or IT ISO standards a specialization. Right? So take your pick from the 10 that we've covered. The ones that are business, risk, customer service, quality of processes, health and safety of staff, and how we work and contribute to the environment versus IT service management, information security, cybersecurity, business continuity, and then privacy and data protection. All right, Group A versus Group B. Which one are you? Are you a Group A person or you a Group B person? But I tell you, people, if you follow what it is that I've said, it's guaranteed that you will be successful. It is guaranteed that you will be successful professionally. And if you're successful professionally, then it will most likely mean that you're also successful financially, right? Of course, it's not always equal, but yeah, we can almost say that, right? At least we cannot guarantee that you're going to be somebody who judiciously uses their money, but we'll be able to guarantee that at least you're somebody who who can earn. You will be able to guarantee that you're somebody who can earn money. So whether you're not able to manage your money, because some people can earn money, but they don't know how to manage it. So that's why I said I can guarantee you professional success, but I cannot guarantee you any other kind of success. But if you follow through, I can do that. As I said, I was doing this for bank throughout this week. From Monday, I sat in the organization, we trained them, we consulted for them, we did many things for them, we helped them to define a framework for privacy. So that's important. So everybody here needs to understand the concept of privacy, right? Data privacy is people call it privacy and data protection, right? So all of you are going to be doing this at some point in time. There's a link for you to do this exam. This is the last foundation exam that we expect everybody to have done. And we just developed it because the new version of this standard just came out. So we just developed it. It's clean, it's new, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy this. There are 50 questions in there. So please take note so that you can easily pass the exam. First is the fact that your privacy is a fundamental human right. So for the people who are human rights activists in the room, that's number one. Privacy is a fundamental human right, right? Your data about your life belongs to you. Your data about your existence, your data about or the things that pertain to your own life, you're the owner of that data. You're the owner of data, and it is primarily yours. And any organization that you hand that data over to, it's their responsibility to also ensure that your own rights as a person is covered and protected. This is number one. It's a human right. If you go and look at the list of 30 human rights, right? Article 12 talks about them. Article 8 also says that in every country, right, the law and the constitution of that country needs to uphold all the rights, right? Says, all right, so you can go check this out. And I mean, that's why I put this here, right? The law of that country needs to uphold these things. So in Nigeria, we have an entity called the Nigeria Data Protection Commission. Their job is to ensure the implementation of privacy and data protection. That's their job. To uphold the implementation of privacy and data protection. Again, Data Protection Commission. I know some people are from Ghana that are on the call because we do a lot of work out of Ghana. We're going to launch Transformation College fully in Ghana before the end of the year, right? So this is also a big deal, right? So they also have theirs, Kenya, every country, because Africa is not united. We don't have the equivalent of what we should call what the in Europe they call GDPR. Normally, we should have what is called the ADPR, right? Okay, so which talks about data protection. That's what it is. We should have the African version. So this says General Data Protection Regulation. That's what it is. Created and implemented and adopted primarily across the entire EU. And it's also the responsibility of anybody that is working with any kind of any kind of data that belongs to citizens of European Union. You're bound by this thing. If you don't want to be bound, well, I was talking to the bank, I say, if you don't want to adhere to this, then ensure that you don't have the data of any European citizen within your databases, within your banking application, within your insurance application, within your pension application. Ensure you don't do that. But once you do this, or once you have the data of anybody that is European in your databases, then you're bound by GDPR. If somebody on this call gives us all their privacy documents and they're European, then we, Transformation College, will automatically bound. We're automatically bound. Africa ordinarily should have the African the Africa Data Protection Regulation. Africa should have that, the Africa Data Protection Regulation. We should have that. That as it applies to us and as it can be adopted across the whole of Africa. We should have that. But Nigeria has got its own. In fact, it used to be called the Nigerian Data Protection regulation. It exists, but now we've even turned it into an act. Like it's directly from the government, right? That it is now an act. It's not just a regulation, it's now an act. 100% punishable by law. 100%. So this is the Nigerian version. It's available online. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. It is available online. This is the Nigeria Data Protection Act. And it is aligned to the 29-100, more or less, one way or the other. It is aligned to the 29-100. Okay? It's aligned to the 29-100. So you will see it's got 4 critical parts to it. Part 5, part 6, part 7, and part 8. So look at the 10 things under part 5. And there are 5 things under part 6. And there are 2 things under part 7 and 3 things under part 8. This is the Nigerian Data Protection Act as summarized by my dear self. So privacy is a big deal. Privacy is a big deal. Everybody, if you go pull up your phones, open a browser or a tab, type Fidelity Bank data protection into Google and tell me what you see in the chat room. This happened last week. This happened just last week. Everybody, what do you see in there? Go to the chat room, tell me. Fidelity Bank, data protection. NDPC is saying how much do they owe? Are they saying they need to pay in terms of a fine? Isn't it like almost $500 million or something like that? Last week, this entity is claiming that Fidelity Bank has breached data protection. Whether it is true, whether it's not true, I don't know. The fine is 555 that they're laying on them. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. I don't know. But it's in the news. It's in the public domain. So every organization, including Transformation College, really needs to understand privacy. Privacy is not a nice to have. It's not something that you think that, oh, it only belongs to a couple of people. If you're an organization and you're collecting the data of what we call data subjects, if you're collecting the data of who we call natural persons, if we're collecting something that we call personally identifiable information, then you need to worry about data protection and privacy. All of you that already have a job, that you're on this call, go back to your offices on Monday and then tell them, are we taking privacy and data protection into consideration? It's a big deal. Within our own organizations, we're doing things around this. If you're collecting any of these types of data, I have a better list here. Hold on. Good, this one. If you're collecting these data sets within your organization, then it applies to you. If your organization is collecting these data sets from its customers, from its employees, its customers, its employees, and also from its vendors and suppliers, then your organization needs to worry about this. Then your organization needs to worry about this. Okay? If you're collecting these things, then your organization needs to worry about this. And that's what data privacy is about. It's not the same thing as cybersecurity. It's not even the same thing as information security. It's different because it is only thinking about the data that is associated with natural persons, the data that is associated with you and I as individuals. So when it comes to data privacy, it's different from information security. It is different from cybersecurity. It's a standalone. It's something that is specific. So you can take the screenshot. If your organization is collecting this type of data, then you should worry. If it's collecting it from customers, if it's collecting it from employees, most people don't know that data privacy for an organization also applies to their employees and also applies to vendor data. Any of this data that is within the custody of your organization, it's a concern. That's why I told you, I said professional success. If you follow these things that we have said and you drill down into them, under this living earth, you will succeed professionally. You might not succeed in other areas of your life, but professionally, you will succeed. Because most banks have not even figured out what it is that is on my page. They have not conceptualized data privacy properly. They don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to address it. They're clueless in terms of how to approach it. So how can you understand this and walk into an insurance company and walk into a pension company, into a fintech, and work with them on this, and then they will say you don't know what you're talking about or you're not adding any value? It's not possible. Okay? This is very important. So a lot of organizations, when they want to implement this, they go to start with the forms, the various forms that they're using to collect data, paper-based forms, electronic forms, whatever kind of form. That's where they start. How are we collecting data? How exactly are we collecting data? That's important. That's critical and that's essential. Okay, how are we collecting data? All right, so on the data privacy project, you have to think about it. How are we collecting data? Should we even be collecting this data? How are we treating the data once it's within our custody? How are we collecting? How are we treating? Should we even be collecting the data? Those are critical questions you need to ask yourself. Should I even be collecting this data? And when I've collected it, what is my reason for collecting it? And when I've collected it, how am I managing and treating the data that is within my custody? Take note of this. If you ever show up for an interview, bring up this data privacy conversation. Speak like I am speaking. Borrow some of my words. You will know way more than people who have jobs already when it comes to privacy and data protection. Right? Let me come back here. So I'm going to go, this is like a full 5-day training class. So I'm not going to try to go through everything. I'm just going to point you to a couple of things, right? So I've said a couple of things. This is the entity in Nigeria Data Protection Commission. You can nail them down and go to their website. Okay. Okay. This is the entity in Ghana. Privacy is a subset of information security, everybody. Privacy is a subset of information security. It is a subset of information security. It is a subset of information security. Information security looks at every kind of data. In privacy, we're only interested in the personally identifiable information, the information about natural persons, and I just showed you a table. So it's different. I know in information security, we talk about CIA, but in privacy, we talk about P, that P standing for privacy. So it's an additional leg. It is an additional leg. Go back to your organization the day you go for an interview. If they say, convince us why we should hire you, tell them I have an understanding of data privacy, its importance, and how to help an organization ensure compliance. Say that. Say to them that you've had a look. Everybody go and download this document. I already shared this page with you. This page. Go and download this document. Tell them that you have an understanding of the Nigerian Data Protection Act and how to implement it. Tell them that. Speak to them intelligently about their need as an organization to ensure that they comply to the Nigerian Data Protection Act and that you can help. That you can help. Okay? Add data protection to your capabilities, especially for those of you that want to do the IT specialization. Add this to your capability. And because, as I said, Ghana has its own act. In fact, the Ghana Act has been around for about 12 years. The Ghana Act has been around for about 12 years. Let me move on very quickly. As I said, this is a 5-day thing. I cannot finish everything I want to say, but let me at least say some. So I already have told you, about the list of the things that make up personal data. The things that make up personal data. I shared a screen with you that had 36 items. But those items can be categorized. Some of them are financial information, some of them are internal information, some of them, there are all sorts of categorizations that you can apply. Right? Privacy is like the elder brother of data protection. Privacy is like the elder brother of data protection. Of course, most people use the words interchangeably, and it's fine to use it interchangeably. But if somebody is asking you, privacy is an overall thing, right? While the protection really talks about
your messages. If I didn't read them, apologize. I do apologize for that. What's
right? Thank you very much. All right. So privacy is an overall thing. Data protection is like, drilling down. So privacy is like what I can say horizontal, data protection is like vertical. So when we're talking about data protection, we're drilling down. We're drilling down specifically in terms of how do we achieve it. So once again, it's okay for you to use the word interchangeably, but if somebody does ask you, right, privacy is like an overall thing, while data protection looks into the details of it. Okay. There's some principles. There are always principles to most things. There are always principles to most things. So there's some principles. There's some principles: lawfulness, fairness, transparency. But this applies primarily to GDPR. If I want to show you the key thing when it comes to $29,100, this is it, everybody. Let's take a screenshot here. This is it. This is $29,100. And there's some technical parts to it. There's some parts that are very much about non-technical, like management, legal, regulatory side to it. But there's some IT side to the work. So some portions of this framework, some portions of NDPA, some portions are technical, IT related, some portions are not. So this is the whole standard. So it first starts with an overview of the framework in itself. An overview of the framework in itself. What is the privacy framework? That's it. The actors and their roles, the interactions, recognizing where personally identifiable information is. How do you safeguard privacy policies and controls? So you find this in the training you're going to be doing. Who are the actors and what are their roles? Okay. So it talks about the principals, the controller, the processors, and even third parties. The principals, right? 5.2.2, the controller, 5.2.3, the processor, 5.2.4, and even third parties. So that's about the actors and the roles. And all of them interact. All of them. In GDPR, they call it the data subject right. In ISO 29100, it's talking about the principles. It doesn't matter. It's just talking about you and I. Just talking about you and I. Okay? So there's a concept called data protection architecture. Some of you that are very IT brained, you need to go learn about things like this. I was interacting with somebody a while ago. She's a data protection engineer. A data protection engineer. A data protection engineer. These are the kinds of things they think about data from a technical perspective. Look at you. This is you in the center. And all the information that belongs to you, and it is yours. You have rights to your own data. You have rights to your own data. Let me come back here just to explain this framework. So that's under 5.2, everybody. 5.3 talks about, yes, please.
Can we ask questions?
Just drop the questions in the chat room. I'll come back there so that I don't break I'll be done in another 15, 20 minutes. So I'll take all the questions. And then you can even ask it verbally if you want. Okay. So let me just go through this so that I don't lose my trend of thoughts. But please note your questions, please. Thank you very much. All right. So recognizing PIIs, everybody. Recognizing where exactly are this? You give them through forms. People keep them in databases. We keep them in Excel documents. We keep them in different portions of the organization. We keep them in Microsoft Word. We keep them inside Mr. Boomer's web applications and websites that we use in collecting the information. We collect information via mobile applications. So organizations collect data from their customers. It is their responsibility to manage and to treat this data appropriately. It's their responsibility. It's the responsibility of organizations to treat the data that they collect appropriately. Right? They must manage the metadata. They must manage the sensitive PII. They must manage even the PII that mistakenly gets into their hands. Organizations have a responsibility to technically manage the data that is in their hands, because you have given your data to me, to Transformation Collect. Transformation Collect has the responsibility to manage and treat that data appropriately. Though you gave it to me willingly, I have the responsibility to still treat it with the maximum amount of due diligence humanly possible. And that's very important. Then, of course, there's some non-technical side to this whole thing. How do I save? I mean, some of the safeguard things that you need to do, because rights are involved. Rights are involved. Let me show you this. Where is it now? Let me show you this. Hold on. Aha. Look at your rights, everybody. Look at your rights. Your data is your right. Your personal data is your right. Right to be informed, right of access, right to rectification, right to erasure, right to restriction of processing, the right to data portability, the right for you to object, and the right regarding automated decision making. These are your rights to your own data. Women have something that think they say, my body, my right, or something like that, right? Which is valid. Men should also say the same, my body, my right, or something like that. But all of us, whether women or men, right? Our data is our right. And organizations that you give your data to have the responsibility to treat your data in such a way that your rights are not violated. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Most people don't even know anything about this. Insurance companies, people are doing their filing, but they're not actually doing the thing. Their clients are not doing enough awareness with regards to this thing. They're not. So if you're on this call, this is a huge advantage for you to actually be able to articulate what privacy means, because these are the rights under privacy that belong to natural persons, and natural persons are you and I, living human beings. It is our rights, according to the United Nations. And that is why they set up the Nigeria Data Protection Commission to ensure two things. Number one, that the rights of you and I are not violated by organizations. Number two, that those organizations themselves, they must manage the data of the people that is even legitimately within their custody. They must manage it appropriately. It's a big project. There's what we call the NDPR filing every year. But a lot of people are doing their filing, but they're not doing the implementation and the adoption. They're doing their filing, but they're not doing the implementation. Neither are they doing the adoption. So once again, the idea is for you to be able to go there right? The idea is for you to be able to go there, to work with organizations, to coach them, to guide them, to help them, to ensure that they don't violate the rights of people, though the people have given them their data to open an account. Nevertheless, the organization owns the responsibility to manage the data that is within its custody appropriately. The way they manage the data, they must follow every kind of guidance and strict policies in the management of the data that is within their custody. Okay. Let me come back here. Here. So there's a legal side to this. So lawyers are very much into this. Lawyers are very much into this. Every kind of contractual interaction with customers, account opening forms, SLAs with vendors, contract with vendors, each of those things must carry the fact that data must be both secure from a security perspective, but also this PII, personally identifiable information, must also be kept safe. That's what it is. And it must take many factors into consideration. And of course, an organization must have all sorts of policies and controls in place. All sorts of policies and controls. Let me show you what I can call an extensive list of the kinds of policies that organizations must have, including the evidence that those policies have been implemented. Did you hear what I said? Including the evidence that is being implemented. Everybody write that down. It's not good enough to have a policy. More importantly, this is it. Policy is not good enough. Procedures are not good enough. It is the evidence, the evidence, the evidence, the evidence that these things have been implemented appropriately. That's what matters. Policies are not good enough. It's the evidence that they've been implemented appropriately. That's what matters. So you can have all sorts of policies, but as your organization implemented it, that's what matters. Okay? That's what matters. So if you're going to be doing this, you've got to have something like this as an overall list of things. This is a project. Sometimes it takes an organization 6 months to get through this project. Sometimes it can take a year to get through the initial implementation. And then they now have to start the adoption process. The initial implementation and then the adoption process. It's a big deal. Remember that I said privacy and data protection, when it comes to personally identifiable information, PII, is a subset of information security. It's a subset, a specific specialization under information security because we're dealing with the rights of natural persons and their rights to their data. And that the data that is kept in your custody as an organization relative to the PIIs of natural persons must be treated appropriately. That's what we're talking about. Here, every organization needs to have the similitude of this. And not just to put it on their website, but to implement it internally. Every organization must have the similitude of this, not just to have it signed off, but to implement it within their organization. I'm not talking about signing it off, but it needs to be appropriately implemented and adopted within the organization. There must be evidence that you have done these things. there must be evidence that the data that is in your custody is kept safe and secure. And you must follow through everything that you need to follow through. This is a big deal. Your travel agency, your hospital, your law firm, in as much as the people are filling forms and giving you their personal information, you must implement data privacy. Privacy and data protection. I have another list here, which is a shortened version of that list. A subset of it. Where is it now? I have it somewhere. This is it. Minimum. There is a role that all banks, all insurance, all pensions, and I dare say every organization should have. It's called the data protection officer. Every organization should have a role called the data protection officer. Every organization should have a role called the data protection officer. So at the very minimum, the organization needs to do these things at the very minimum. At the very minimum. At the very minimum. Okay. So according to 29100, everybody, where's that page? One pager on 29100. Yes. Yes. These are the principles. They have 11 principles that you must abide by. 11 of them. You need to get consent for collection and use of data from the owners of the data. The organization must understand the legitimacy for the collection of the data from people. Do they have a legitimate interest? Okay. Organizations should not collect what it is that they do not need. They need to limit what it is that they're collecting to only what they need and they can justify. All right. Organization needs to ensure that their forms that they are using for data minimization is appropriate for the purpose of the organization. So there's collection, there's the collection limitation, there's the minimization of the data in itself. And then organizations must have a retention and disclosure policy. Collection and retention and disclosure. This is how long we retain data for. And these are our reasons for retaining data for that long. Organizations have the responsibility to keep the data that they have accurate. They do. Organizations need to be open and transparent with regards to how they manage data that is within their custody. That's 6.8. People need to participate. All right. And you need to get authorization from them. They need to sign documents to say that they willingly gave you the data. Okay. And of course, organizations have to realize that they are accountable for the data that is in their custody. Organizations need to ensure that they implement information security so that CIA is also preserved. And organizations need to ensure that they're compliant. That they're compliant with the privacy policy of the land. This is what the whole 29100 is saying. It's the ISO version of GDPR. But they have two versions. They also have this one. ISO also has another one. ISO has two. They have this one, everybody. which is for people that this particular one is for people that have 27001 already. This is dependent on the organization being certified to 27001, which is the one for information security. This is an extension of information security. So this one is dependent on an organization that has implemented information security. But the other one, which is 29100, it doesn't matter whether you have fully implemented information security or gotten certified, you can do this. This is the one we have as an organization. This is one I'm concerned about. And this is the one that we have a foundation course for. Now that you're going to be doing the foundation course. All right. There are many things in here. As I said, it's a long training. It takes about 3 to 4 days to go through the training. You see that even under information security, because this is under information security for everybody that's done the 27001, and you see that 5.34 is also there as one of the subsets. 5.34 is also there as one of the subsets. So once again, it's a big deal. Once again, it's a big deal. If you want to learn about GDPR, I'll share a link in the chat room. Needs to also have a document. I mean, I don't want this to become very complex because we don't have enough time. We're only using 1.5 hours to treat what we use 4 days to treat. So hey, as it is. But just realize that privacy is a big deal. And organizations need to ensure that they get privacy right. It's got its own risk assessment called the DPIA. Every kind of privacy framework, you must meet something called the DPIA, the Data Protection Impact Assessment. Right? Data Protection Impact Assessment. Right. Okay, so pretty much, of course, you can get dashboards for it if you're managing it appropriately as an organization and all that. All right, let me take questions, everybody. Let me take questions. The material for 29100 is beautiful. Go to the link. All right. If you want to learn about GDPR, I'll also share a link here. Let me put you can go to download this basically. If you really want to learn about GDPR, I'll share a link, right? And then, of course, if you want to learn about what the Nigerian Data Protection Entity is doing, go to the NDPC website. You can download the regulation, you can download the act. It's all available on their website. Alrighty. Let me take questions, please. Okay. I can give you an extract from the presentation, right? But everything you need is actually on the one that you're going to have, which is your 29100 link. Let me share that link here. So all of you, if you go through, give me 1 minute. So this is the most updated foundation course. Everybody, I put the link in here. Thank you very much, Sulaiman. Thank you. Put the link in here. So everybody, if you go, the training is great and it's free, and then you take your exam. All right. So privacy is a big deal. It's not a nice to have. It's a must-have. Questions? All right, go. Please go ahead. Tosin, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. My question is this. If we go to all those companies, let's assume that want to help them to track maybe their data privacy, how are they keeping the individuals' data that they are collecting? And then I'm aware that all nations, or they have their own local laws that guide how you take data, people's data. And I know that there are the geographical ways of taking data. So if you're taking data in Nigeria, you cannot use it in the US. You have to also adhere to their own laws and all of that. So if we are professional now, or we take all those courses, how do we now implement those things into the company? How do we go to companies around and say, okay, how are you keeping your data? How are you doing this? How do we help them out if you find out that, okay, they're not keeping data, or they are exposing their users' data? How do we help them, sir? That's my question.
All right, thank you, Tosin. So, number one, you must understand the data sets that is being kept in that particular location. Do you understand? So,
Okay, sir.
sorry. Let me say it properly. Step one, I'll just give you a list of steps. Step one, you must understand the regulation that matters in the country. In Nigeria, it is our Data Protection Act, and I think I showed you a slide for that. That's what matters in Nigeria. So if it's a Nigerian organization, that's the concern. If it's a Ghanaian company, they also have to use the act in their own country. All right. So that's number one. You must understand the laws of the land relative to data protection. That's number one. Number two, you must understand the organization and how they collect data. So you have to do something like it's called the gap analysis. So once again, if you type it online and you say data protection gap analysis template, you will find all sorts of things. All right. That's number two. Right. You must be able to do a gap analysis. You must understand how they're collecting data, how they're managing it, and all that. Once you arrive at the gaps that they have, right? Number three is to now help them with the actual implementation of the controls. So you define a couple of policies and procedures and you then implement. And I showed you a slide that had all sorts of templates and all sorts of things that an organization needs to put in place. So, and then finally, you have to do the filing with the local authority in that country. Once again, 4 steps. Understand the law of the land, understand the organization and its gaps, implement policies, procedures, and controls, and lastly is for you to do the filing with the authority in that particular country. So that's it. You find templates for doing gap assessment. There's so many things that you find online. And the Nigerian data, I can give my students this. I'm not meant to, but you're my students, so I will do Ojoro for you people. Give me a second. If you're a Nigerian, hold on, where is it? Okay, good. If you're in Nigeria, if you want to implement data protection, everybody, I'm sharing a link now. Go and download that document and follow through with everything that is in the document. I put a link in there. It's a draft document.
Okay,
It's
sir.
only organizations that should have it, but you can. All right, let me quickly take Akim. Tosin, I hope that's clear. Akim, please go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, sir.
Okay. My question is as a data subject or data principal, as the case may be, we in our daily lives we provide data almost everywhere. And if my data is compromised, how do I know a particular or specific data processor that exposed my data so that I can seek
redress? You can seek redress. Right? So it's actually very difficult. So, for example, if there's something on the internet that says that, oh, your name, your phone number, your email address, or something has been provided, you provided it to more than maybe 50 the organizations, you provided it to banks, you provided it to insurance. It might be very difficult when it leaks. But sometimes the leakage is now tied to a certain organization. So, for example, if you on the dark web, on the dark web, they will say this data set was leaked from InterSwitch or something. Then if your data is one of it, then you're able to sue them. But apart from that, if it's just a floating data set on the internet, then it might be really difficult for you to really nail down which organization it's coming from. Right? It is quite difficult. So if there's just one random website, of course you can sue the owner of the website, you can sue the owner of the email that it's coming from. You can sue those entities, but usually those things are just one guy seated somewhere. The one that you really want to sue that you get value from is the one where you're suing where you're suing
The
an
bank.
organization. Yeah, that's really the key thing, and that's why organizations, especially banks, insurance, pensions, fintechs, telco providers, and all those kinds of entities, they're really trying as much as possible to ensure that they don't violate those things. So once again, everybody go and look at the link that I shared with you. This last one that I just shared. If you want to help organizations, help your own organization, help other organizations with regards to privacy and data protection, just go and implement everything that is there. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Adelo. All right, then. Thank you. Adelo, please go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to ask, is data privacy strongly linked to auditing as a profession?
Oh, okay. Auditor, thank you very much. Great question. Auditors are meant to audit everything. Auditors have the responsibility to audit everything. They will audit data, they will audit systems, they will audit processes, they will audit everything. Auditors, their job is to audit everything that exists. So data protection is not a specific thing for auditors. So there's a bank that I will be doing some training for. Let me see if I can find look at I'll share it in a second. So look at my screen. We're going to be doing some training for them. So it's called Enterprise Audit Training and Certification. Look at it. So we're teaching them, the auditors in the organization, how to audit organizational objectives, behavior, and performance, how to audit organizational structure and business processes, how to audit the entire data analytics nature of the organization, how to audit information security, right? So you can see here, am I right? Recognize data privacy laws and their potential impact on data security policies and practices. By teaching the organization how to audit application and system software, how to audit infrastructure and control frameworks, how to audit disaster recovery, how to audit financial accounting and finance in itself, how to audit managerial accounting. So audit applies to processes. You can audit people. You can audit. So here like this now, appraise risk, project management, various forms. Look at this one, right? You're look at it. This is HR. So the internal audit department is meant to audit everything in an organization, not just the books. But most auditors don't realize that. So they only focus on financial audit. But this is the guideline from International Institute of Auditors, and it says that everything in an organization needs to be audited, especially internally. Now, when it comes to external audit, it will be tied to the scope of the engagement. So if they, as an external auditor, if they brought you only for financials, then you only have to do financial. If they brought you only for technology, you only have to do technology. However, for internal auditors, their job is to be able to audit everything. And they can't become certified internal auditors, except they can audit processes, systems, people, and including finance. I hope that answers it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Good, good, good. All right, Mercy, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
afternoon, Ma. How are you?
I'm doing very well,
Right.
sir. Thank you very much
Good.
for this session. Yes, I have a question. Like,
Please go.
whenever I find vulnerability in a system, I'm not in any way attached to the organization. Are there guidelines on how to disclose the vulnerability to the organization? Because I see some people, they go to GitHub, they review, like they did for MTN. Is that acceptable, or what's the guideline? How do we do that?
So it depends in what capacity are you working in this instance?
So I'm just a student. I
Oh
just
no, okay.
discovered.
So what I'm saying to you is that okay, so what you're saying is that if you're just an individual and maybe you're just going on MTN website and you just find out there's some vulnerability. You know, what I was asking that in what capacity is that, you know, if you're an internal if you're a staff or an employee of that organization, then the appropriate thing, except what you find is illegal, is what you find is illegal, then you should report to the authorities. But if what you find is a vulnerability and you're an employee, your job is to report to the organization. By and large, the same rule also applies to you and I as external people. If we find a vulnerability on GTBank website or on MTN website or one of those organizations, if we find one of such, ideally we should let that organization know. But if what it is that we have found is illegal, then we should let the authorities know as it is. People just like mischief, right? So if I find something, I quickly go onto social media and make a lot of noise about it because I probably want to disgrace that organization or I want to prove myself to be some guru of some sort or whatever that thing is. Ordinarily, putting it out there on GitHub or wherever it is really is just being mischievous. Ideally, what you should do is to let the organization know, send emails to them and things like that. That, you know, I found this. This seems like a challenge of some sort. Can you your website is not opening as an organization. Can you deal with it? Can you address it? Like that, like that. Okay. Are you good?
Yes, I am, sir. Thank
Good.
you.
All right. Good. Any other person? Is there any other person?
Yeah,
Any
Akim
other
again.
question? Okay, Akim, please go ahead.
Okay,
So that we can go for a break very quickly. Go ahead.
okay. Talking about vulnerabilities, something just came to my mind. In the process of prioritizing vulnerabilities to be treated, is there any guide on maybe like on a model that you can use to prioritize using using some parameters like CVSS and co? Is there any
Oh,
model?
okay. So two things. Go and check out something called CIS. There is the actual CIS controls, right? And then you can also check something called the CIS RAM. Those
Okay,
two things
CIS RAM.
should give you, right? So you can check out first. You must know something about the CIS controls, and there are 18 of them. So you can
Okay.
check out the CIS controls, and then you can now check out the risk assessment model for CIS. So apart from having the methodology, they now have something called the risk assessment. So that RAM tells you any and everything that you want to know, CIS RAM,
Okay.
about how to prioritize, what to do, you know, the basis for even the prioritization. But you have to first start by knowing the controls. If you don't know the
Okay.
controls, then you won't be able to make sense of the RAM in itself. And it's free. There's a version 2.1 that is available online. It's called, yeah, I mean, if you would have to really go through the whole thing to really understand what it is. And ISO also has something called 27005, which is the information security risk assessment. So ISO's code also has something like that. right? So you can check out CIS RAM, CIS in itself, and ISO 27. It tells you ISO 27005 tells you about information security risk assessment. Risk
All right, thank you.
assessment. All right.
Yeah,
Any
thanks.
other person so that we can go for a break? Anybody? Quickly? Good. Those hands are still up. Should I lower it? Was that from before?
Yes,
All right.
yes, that's from before.
Okay, good. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.
So you have a
Yes.
question on the chat box.
What is the question, please? What
My
does it
question is,
say?
how about WhatsApp vulnerability? How do you avoid your data privacy or hacked?
Oh, yeah, I mean, so there's a guy that I used to see. He used to tell people about privacy and security settings that you can apply to your WhatsApp. I don't have them off the top of my head, but yeah, if you go online and you look at settings, I mean, the guy is always doing something on phones and all that. So he has I've forgotten his name. I used to watch him on Instagram a lot. So, but you'll find it for security and privacy settings and controls that you can apply to your WhatsApp. So you find a lot of it online. Okay, good. All right, everyone. I want to be out of here latest by 3 p.m. today. That's at the very latest, right? No, 2 p.m. actually, not 3. So let's go for a quick break. It's about 10:40. Let's come back in exactly 20 minutes time. They're about 21, 22 minutes. And then we will do our final session on business analysis. I'm certain that you will enjoy it. I'm certain we'll be able to bring a decent, should I say, overview to everything that we've done on business analysis. And that will be the final class for the year 2024 summer program. Next week will be our graduation ceremony. It's a 2-hour, 2.5 hour program. We'll start at about 10. Will be done by latest 12:30. Some of you are going to be giving testimonials. So we need your help. I mean, we really do need everybody's help. So we run this school out of our pockets as it is. So the money for registration is not what we use in running the school as it is. We run the school completely out of our pocket. So we're going to need you to help us with word of mouth, testimonials, online testimonials, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn. Just helping to help us publicize this. The only value we get is when a lot of people get blessed from this sessions as it is. This is run completely out of pocket as of today. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in exactly 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.